Hey guys, this is Brandon with Better at Beach. Today I am working with Logan and Jake, and we are having primarily a preseason ball control practice. So we're going to spend a lot of this practice focusing on fixing a lot of passing form. We're in this practice specifically, we're focusing a lot on shape and consistency with that shape, and really presenting their platform and their base position as early as possible. Then towards the end of practice, we're going to get into some transition touches and see if we can elevate the stress a little bit and see if they can do a good job by controlling that stress and then not letting it show up in their play. Hope you enjoy. Yeah. Let's try to do that. Let's keep concentrating on our breathing a little bit. Try to find a little bit of an exhale on that release. Doesn't have to be aggressive, we just want it to be calm. I think your touches will start to mimic what your breath is doing. So if it's like a really quick exhale, it's probably gonna be a quick touch. If it's a really long, slow exhale, then it's probably gonna be a slower touch. So we're just gonna do 2 rounds of consistent passing for you guys. I'm just gonna have you here in serve receive position, and you're just gonna go for 30 seconds-ish. You're just going side to side, and I'm just gonna keep you moving the whole time. The big thing that I want you focusing on is let's minimize our movements while also keeping our shape. Let's put this ball right behind you. Now we're gonna go for those short passes, okay? So now we're just I'm gonna have you guys going forward. Same idea, try to keep that shape. We can lift this one a little bit more, go back to the ball, and then we're just kind of going into like a V. I'll match your speed, so don't feel like you gotta condition. Whenever we're going forward, let's make sure that we're thinking about like, this is wherever this ball is gonna land, that's where our midline kind of needs to be, or we need to get this foot outside, right? Because then we can find that balance and we find that strength. If we're kind of here with our arms, that's when our momentum can kind of go away from that.
Yeah, I feel like I was almost like kicking back.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of.
We'll go into the setting drills real quick. Just doing 6 balls. With our setting today, let's kind of bring that breath in, okay? And let's remember, don't let the stress of the drill show up in your set, okay? So I'm just gonna alternate between, the order I'll go in is short, middle, deep, and I'm gonna have you do 3 rounds of that. Logan, you're just setting this whole time. I'll let you get back and get reset. Remember our idea yesterday, whatever we get to, that's the result we get, right? So like, let's not try to do all this overcorrection. If we don't feel like we're there, give that pass. So like, don't try to shoot it all the way across. I think that's where we're releasing from those hips a little bit. Yesterday you did a good job of like feeling robotic and it kind of looked like you were stuck a little bit. But until we figure out how to relax in that position, you might feel like you're a little tense. Let's go. Yeah, there you go. Good. Yep, that was great. So one of the things that we're kind of focusing on right now with these guys, they're in preseason mode, so it's not a whole lot of competitive ideas. It's a lot of fixing issues that they realized showed up in the past year. So we're focusing a lot today on a lot of passing. We did the same thing yesterday with a lot of passing and setting. And the main thing is trying to put ourselves into a position before our contact happens where we feel strong and stable. I think one of the biggest issues that we have with passers is that we become really results driven, meaning if we pass the ball into the correct spot, we consider it to be a good pass. But what I'm trying to work with these guys with a lot is realizing that their foot placement, how they feel with their strength in their body while they're passing, and being able to keep this shape. We're really focusing, you're gonna hear me talking about keeping your hips back away. And so we're really focusing on maintaining this distance between their hips and their platform. And if they're able to hold that, that means they did a really good job of getting to the ball. If they're not able to hold that position, what it looks like if they're not able to hold is you're gonna see them release these hips forward and they finish with their arms really high. And while the ball might go to the right spot, we don't wanna rely on that because that kind of movement is not repeatable. So when we get late into games, that's when errors are going to show up if we start relying on that, especially this early in the season. We have a course specifically set up to make you a better passer. If you're interested in finding out more information on that, go ahead and DM me the word pass. Jake, I'm going to have you go through, it's going to be 6 passes, 3 on this side, 3 in the middle, and then we'll switch. We can have that little bit of an arm bend, or if you want to stand up a little bit. We just don't want it to be, the one thing I don't want to see is that you like finish this pass with like a complete line up your entire body. As much information as you can before you touch the ball. So like, same thing with Logan, if we're here and we're meeting that ball at the same time, he's just kind of trusting that you're gonna pass the ball in the right location. But if you get that platform out early and make that move and you're able to show your platform early to the ball, 1, I think the touch is gonna be more consistent, but 2, he's gonna be able to read you a lot better. One of the things that we're seeing already is still fighting that idea of really trying to correct. It's kind of cool because we're getting to see, and it's really small, so I'm kind of curious if you guys out there in YouTube world will be able to see anything, but we have 2 different kind of passers. Like Jake is, if he's really good with his feet, his platform takes care of the pass for him. He has a really, really solid platform. Logan is really good with his feet, but sometimes he has a hard time of getting his platform out early. So we're having this idea, the talk that we're having is be a good partner. And it's not always just about like cheering people on, it's about giving your partner as much information as you can with your body. So we're trying to get their platforms out early, so that their so that their partner can read where that ball is going. Logan, you're gonna pass 8 balls and then you're gonna switch with Jake. Then now, so just try, the main goal that we're focusing on, once again, let's really try to keep that shape. Obviously the progression that we're going through with giving you guys the locations, hopefully it was easier. Now we're kind of putting it to the test, see if you guys can do it just with reading and tracking a serve. Especially with this wind, since it's coming like a little bit more this way today. If our feet, for both of you guys, if our feet are stable and we feel strong with our core, our adjustments are super minimal, right? So like the difference between you passing to zone 3 and zone 4 to give that option is like, I think it's closer to centimeters than it is inches. You know, it's just a little bit of a dip because I think it's like, if we have all that strength, then the ball's gonna bounce off us better. You know what I mean? So we don't necessarily, if we're weak, if we feel shaky, that's when you're probably gonna have a little bit more room. Get the appropriate height on a pass, then we're opening up this idea of where is a pass actually going to land, you know? But if I tell you guys like, hey, I don't care how high the pass is, but I want you to pass it in this 4x4 square, I think both of you guys, if I'm bowling you a ball, you guys can like push a ball into that box every single time. If I add in an extra thing where I'm like, hey, the ball has to go above the top of the antenna and now land in that box, I think we start missing a little bit. If we go even a little bit higher than that, then we start missing a little bit more. But if we start small, I think we can keep that as we want to raise the play. Logan, I'll have you start. Jake, you're gonna be setting and then optioning. Logan, your first one is a standing ball back to me. Second one, little hop back to me. Third one, option to him, okay? And so Jake, let's just put the ball back to me for right now. So let's really focus on trying to keep these arms close to our legs. Okay, so I almost feel like if we can think about this brush, that might be something we want to think about. I think you're losing some height being all the way out here. Next progression, whenever you feel good with this arms being close, I think is really relaxing your wrist to get to a point where like, when you throw your arms back, your fingers should almost be pointing at the sky. Let's try to encourage ourselves to be calmer earlier. So before I even get going, let's try to initiate some kind of pre-movement. Hopefully we can see that show up in our later pass as well. Let's do 4 balls total, 2 blocks, 1 turn and go, or sorry, like over you to release, and then 1 pull. And those would be your 4. Let's have you set the last 2, and then after he does his 4, Jake, we'll have you go through the first round where I'm gonna have you dig outside of your body to your left, and we'll just have you try to get 3 good reps with setting. your automatic instinct for a lot of ones is to almost treat it like a 3, where you line up a little bit more seam and then reach with your hands. Whereas I think there's a lot of opportunity for you to just be straight up on that 1, take as much area away as you can, and then if you see me going cross or seam, then you reach with that inside hand. Same idea that we talked about with our passing, where we start small and then we start making our adjustments. I think that it's a lot easier for you as a blocker and your defender behind you if you start on that really hard line, take that away, and then if you want to throw in those different ideas of the 1, you can, but I think we have to establish that base. You know what I mean? When we get to the transition position, that's where a lot of times excitement can show up. And that's when everything that we're working on with our ball control, it can still show up in the transition. So what we were working on a lot there was with Logan, trying to focus on 1, his block positioning, right? And 2, his hand finish. So obviously Logan's quite big and quite tall, but we're trying to put him in better situations where he can take over matches a little bit easier. A common thing that we saw for both of these guys is when the transition play started happening, we could see that after they made a play, the stress of the attack coming at them started showing up in the first step of their approach as well. So they were early a lot. So one thing that we were really focusing on is after they make that really good quick twitch movement and touch, finding a sense of calm and being able to relax before they go in and try to finish the play. So I thought they did a really good job. If you like this video and you want to work with me in person, go ahead and check out our camps. We have 7-day, we have 3-day, we have 1-day camps. You can find those on betteratbeach.com/camps. If you want more information, just go ahead and DM me the word camps. Alrighty guys, thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe for our channel. You have no idea how much that support helps us. And if you're interested in working with us further, whether it's online or in person at our camps, please reach out and check our website.